there's not that many animes. Their original season, first season, that's like knocked something out of the park. Like most of the times you get past season 1 and season 2 is good, season 3 gets better, you know, so on and so on. But this anime right here, man, I tell you, like, this has to be one of the best introduction seasons I've ever seen of an anime. Like, it is so good, pacing wise, animation, artwork, comedy, seriousness. Like, Demon Slayer season 1, whew, it knocks it out of the park for sure. Matter of fact, Grand Slam, Hail Mary, just touchdown, all the freaking, you know, similes and metaphors you can throw out there for like greatness. Cause this anime is purely that. It's great. And as the episode we break down, I'm going to review it. What's up, world? Welcome to the episode we break down. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What's up, world? Welcome to the episode movie breakdown series review. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What's movie breakdown series review? Well, we take a movie series, an anime, a cartoon, a TV show, grade each individual season, and then give it an overall grade as well. A through L, plus or minus do count. And there's a series you want me to review, let me know. Please put in the comment section below and I get to it best I can. Also, Patreon, Patreon/Ali Zakka for $2 a month. You get your review to cut in front of everybody. Plus you get trade reaction, trade reviews, and much more on there before it comes out on Facebook and YouTube. Matter of fact, the trade reaction, trade reviews don't even come out on Facebook and YouTube at all. And lastly, this episode is a request. I've been requested to watch Demon Slayer by 7 or 8 different people, and I finally got to it at the finish Ronnie Kenshin. And Demon Slayer from the year 2020, I believe that's when it first came out. Let me double check my math on that. Sorry, 2019 when it first came out. It's really good. This season is a really great season. What is it about? You have a guy named Tanjiro who pretty much has a family, and the family gets killed by a demon except for his sister, and he's trying to find a way to reverse his sister back into a human, which has never been done before. And demons pretty much eat humans, and there's a group of people called Demon Slayers who kill demon. While Tanjiro trying to find the cure to reverse his sister back to a human, he's also trying to save people from demons. Demon Slayer. Straight to the point. And this is a spoiler review, guys. So you haven't seen Demon Slayer, I highly suggest you go watch it. It's only 26 episodes for season 1. We're in the middle of, we haven't even started season 2 yet. Well, no, at the time of this recording, there will be, or I guess the time of this recording release on Facebook and YouTube, season 2 would have started by this point. But as of right now, we're in season 1 and like the train episode from the movie that came from this season, or came from this story. And Demon Slayer, my first thoughts on it, it is phenomenal. It is great. The animation for this show is phenomenal. And for a moment, it does take a little bit to get used to, because not like your standard anime animation. It's a little different. And when you're watching it, you're like, this jagged line, the straight line, the detailing of certain characters in certain scenes, it seems different. But then there's a mixture of like CGI and a mixture of 3D animation, but it merges so well in the color scheme and how bright this show is. It really works and it pops. It's really good. Really good with the animation, the color, and the CGI on it. And then on top of that, the music and tone, the soundtrack for this anime, when it's supposed to get serious and gets really tense, the music plays and it really brings you into it, gets you intrigued, so you're not like, oh man, I hear this song, I'm curious what's about to happen. And even the like downplayed songs where they're like just sitting around chilling is kind of cool and chill and relaxing. Like the soundtrack to this show, the OST, is really good. The original soundtrack to Demon Slayer is really good. And the animation is really good. Episode 19, I called a freaking movie. It was that good of animation. Like, this is so good that the animation of it reminds me of a movie. It was that crisp and clean. Another thing this anime does, it adds a little bit of comedy to it. And matter of fact, when you meet a character named Zanitsu, his comedic bits to this anime is phenomenal. And the way they design him and his jargon, his reaction. And matter of fact, not just his reaction, but other characters' reaction is really great. But Zenitsu, his one is really pops out to me. His big head design and his popping out eyes kind of design just cracks me up. And it went from being like a very serious anime from episode like 1 to 10, like your standard protagonist. Like Tanjiro reminds me of Deku a lot. He is a good, kind-hearted person who doesn't really want to kill anybody, but he kind of has to force to, and he realized a lot of demons are created because they used to be humans that became demons. And when he kills a demon, he kind of like have a moment of empathy for him, and it's empathetic to him, whether the plight that was going through before they became a demon or wherever the situation happened, he feels for them. And the writer of this anime and this manga does a good job making you feel for each individual character, where you're like, my heart straightens. Like, there's one character who was told that he won't be good at anything. He won't be good at writing, and he won't be good at playing the drums. And when he became a demon, he had like a drum ability where he'd tap a drum on his body and change the room. But when he was fighting Tanjiro actually saw that his papers was on the ground. And when that Tanjiro realized that it was that demon's writing, he maneuvered himself around where he wouldn't land on the papers, or the attacks wouldn't attack the paper. And at the end of the fight, the demon realized that, and he was like, you didn't attack my papers, like, I appreciate that. And Tanjiro was like, I actually thought your ability was pretty cool, even though you are a demon. He had a pretty cool ability, and the demon felt like relieved that, like, man, somebody actually does appreciate me. That's some deep stuff for a character you only meet for like 4 episodes. Like, this anime is done really well, and because it's based off the manga and the manga is completed, there's no pacing. There's no filler, which means the pacing of it flows like a manga. You can pick up the manga and read it, and you're gonna be able to go along with season 1. There's no, we'll be in this part of the town for 10 episodes because we gotta wait till the manga catches up. No, it really flows really well, and it's so good, man. The comedy, when we get to see episode 10 going forward, you get some comedic characters that come in, and those characters are fun to be around, add more to the story, and they really bounce off Tanjiro, and Tanjiro bounce off of them. Like the characters that you meet down the line that are just really, really funny and hilarious, and add a twist of comedy to it. Because, like I said, the first 10 episodes is generally serious in tone, and you're setting up everything, set the world. There's not that much comedy. To be honest, Tanjiro is not really that much of a comedic character, and his sister's not really either. She's more of a mute, but her interactions are kind of like funny, but they're not really much of anything. But when you meet Zenitsu and the guy with the boar mask, which I'm gonna get his name later, it really flips into a different kind of anime, and I found myself dying laughing a lot, like just cracking up and rewinding it and cracking up again. This anime is great. It's great. Freaking awesome. Just an awesome anime. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about like the creators and the anime production team that works on this. So the creator of Demon Slayer is, sorry I messed your name up here, Koyoharu Gotogi. He's the writer of Demon Slayer, and as of May 18, 2020, the manga is completed. 23 volumes from February 2016 to May 2020. Demon Slayer is complete, so you can go read the whole manga if you want to. And the studio that works on this is UFO Table. They're the ones who work on Demon Slayer, and it started in 2019 and it's still going right now. But they have done a good job. I hope UFO Table stays with this anime because the details and design of this is phenomenal. And then let's go ahead and talk about the characters here. So we have Tanjiro, and his last name is Kamado. Tanjiro is a very cool character. Like, he is peaceful, caring, kind-hearted. There's times where he has like diffused character situations by one, grabbing a man's hand and just looking at him in his face when a dude is backlashing and destroying, like, we don't know anything but the laws I have and stuff like that. And Tanjiro just grabs his hands and is like looking at him with a very kind of heart. It's like, doesn't say anything, just kind of looks at him and walks off. And the dude realizes in that moment, like, Tanjiro has been through losing a family and getting, you know, family dying due to a demon attacking them. And Tanjiro just kind of like want to make sure nobody else feels that same pain. And then on top of that, like, he is such a great character to introduce to people, where he's changing people's lives. He is changing the world around him. His mentality has changed everybody around him. The Hashira, who is a group of demon slayer, like top-notch demon slayers, he's changing them. He's changing the way people look at demons. He changed the reaction of Zanitsu and Sosuke. He changes their interaction. His outlook on life affects them as well. Like, the dude is a solid character. There's a scene in one of the later episodes where this girl, she refused to make choices for herself. The reason why, because she was a slave, and anything she did, she got hurt or abused for. So she didn't do anything unless she was ordered to do something. And she wouldn't speak to Tanjiro when there's training and everything. And at the end of training, she flips a coin to give herself permission to speak. Heads was not to speak, tails was to speak. And she got tails, so she starts speaking to Tanjiro. So Tanjiro takes the coin. Now, part of me is like, oh, that's pretty awesome. He's giving her free will and saying like, hey, if I get heads, you do whatever you want. If I get tails, you continue to follow this coin. He gets heads, and she's able to live her life how she wants to, was also because the order was you get free will. But at the same time, I was thinking like, you just gave a girl a whole messed up part of life now. She walk around like, I'm giving free will, I don't know what to do with it. She had order and structure, now it's chaos. No, I'm playing. But no, he affected her life just in the moment of being around her, and he does a great job affecting others. Now, he do have this unique ability where he can smell stuff, and his smell comes in. He can smell like people's aura and how they react and move and how they feel. I think Tanjiro is just a great character, and his move, water concentration, where he has this water technique he has where he can have these different levels of water techniques, which I get it. The first couple episodes he's been training for 2 years, and I get it why he can use all 10 levels, but I was like, this dude seems super OP for a protagonist. He is a protagonist. Like, your first couple battles, he's not struggling per se. Like, you don't think he's gonna lose. I will say that. Like, he does get like a broken leg, a broken rib, but he's able to overcome it. And I would say you don't know how it's gonna play out. I would give the writer heads up on how he wrote it, so you don't know how it's gonna play out. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I feel like this dude's super overpowerful. Like, there's this episode 19, which is one of my favorite episodes. This man goes all out, and I'm like, this is only season 1. What season 2 or 3 looks like? Granted, time has passed. I get it. But at the same time, he is a little overpowerful. But then there's other characters who are also twice as powerful as he is. So, you know, he seems super powerful. He is not the strongest, which there's room for growth there. But Tanjiro, as a person, a human being, is great. And then you have Nezuko Kamamoto. She is Tanjiro's little sister who gets bitten by a demon and get turned into a demon. And she is pretty much trying to eat, Nezuko trying to eat Tanjiro at first, but then Tanjiro is able to convince people that, like, no, my sister would never eat a human, and then she goes to sleep and she gets hypnotized, believing every human she meets is her family, so she has to protect humans. And at this point in the anime, her thing is like, if she eats a human, Tanjiro has to kill her and then kill himself. So he's using, like, he's trying to get his sister not to eat humans, and at the same time find a cure to turn her back to a human. And for the most part, Nezuko is really a strong character. She comes and kicks butt and saves Tanjiro's hide a few times. However, you don't get much of her yet in this season. Like, she's there, and then she goes hide out. But there's a few details I love with Nezuko. Like, for example, there's a scene where she's getting threatened to eat a human, and Tanjiro can't do anything. He's only forced to watch. And Nezuko doesn't do it. She turns her head in disgust, but then goes back into this little box. She makes herself smaller and goes into this little box so she can protect herself during the daylight. And the drawing in detail of it, you have this serious anime drawing, and next to her is like this little cartoon drawing of her kind of looking like, looking teed off. It reminds me of One Punch Man, the way the design is, where like when One Punch Man is looking bored, he looks bland. It's a little cartoon drawing instead of serious anime drawing. Love it. I love it. And Nezuko does that a lot. Or the beady eyes, where the characters get like these just beady, like, shock eyes. And blank faces on her, like, look like emoji with a blank face on them. Love it, love it. Nezuko does that a lot. Zenitsu Agasuma. Zenitsu is probably one of my favorite characters. The dude is a Freddy cat, scared of everything, and then also a womanizer, because he try to hit on every girl he see, but because he's such a coward and such a needy character, he comes off really needy. Like, no matter what woman comes past him, he's like, you gotta love me, take me, love me. And all the woman's like, get away from me, you creep. The dude cracks me up. And anytime Tanjiro does something, or is around a beautiful girl, he flips out. He's like, Tanjiro, how dare you do this? How dare you do this? And the character cracks me up. But one cool thing about this character is that when he passes out, he subconsciously go into a fighter stance and fighter mode. And I think it's such a cool design for a character who's a coward character. Instead of like run away, like, I gotta face up and be strong, he legit passes out and his subconscious takes over and he becomes a very admirable fighter. And I like the design of it. I like the idea behind him. I want to see him more. He's definitely comic relief in this anime, and I want to see more of him. Hashiba, no, what's his name up? Hashibira Inosuke. Inosuke is such a cool design character, and he wears a boar mask, and he's pretty much animalistic. The dude grew up in the wild, and he does not have any social construct at all. And anytime he interacts with Tanjiro, it's almost like a rivalry thing, but Tanjiro doesn't see it like that. Inosuke does. He sees it as a rivalry. And Inosuke is constantly trying to outdo Tanjiro, but Tanjiro uses that to his advantage to help Inosuke, like him and Inosuke to team up. When Inosuke's on the field, though, and fighting with Tanjiro, I feel like those two never really struggle. I feel like they can take out any obstacle. Now, granted, they do have a part where they do fight a tough character and they struggle with them, but they're very too, not eligible, very too shown characters who you can rely on and pulling somebody out of danger. Versus Zenitsu, you can't trust Zenitsu at all. You're like, well, I wonder how they're gonna get out of this, because he's pretty much a slumbering coward. But when Inosuke comes in, you're like, okay, this dude is bad A, top tier, and the only thing that's gonna take him down is his pride or his lack of knowledge or awareness. But the dude's a cool character. He uses 2 swords, and cool dude. Zenitsu, by the way, uses lightning techniques, and that's his thing. He's a lightning guy, so I didn't throw that out there earlier, but I'll throw that out there now. And their design kind of matches their style. And then I want to talk about one of the main villains, who is, I guess, the main villain, who is Muzan Kibutsuji. Muzan is the main villain, in which I was actually surprised that you meet him so early in this anime. You meet him within like the first 10 episodes, like episodes, I would say 6, 7, and 8. You meet him like right off the back. He's like actually the second mission that Tanjiro gets, and you're like, wait a minute, that's the main bad guy. That's the dude that we're talking about. You shouldn't approach you. You gotta find a way to take him out. And I was like, just living here like casually, and I like that. I like the fact you don't have to wait to meet the big bad. I'm gonna conquer the world. He's literally right there, and Tanjiro comes across him, and dude doesn't fight Tanjiro. He actually makes a distraction and get away. But you're like, that's so cool. But for the most part, he's the guy who's turning like not the demon king, but he's the guy who turns the beginning of demons, pretty much. He creates demons. He fights somebody. He finds somebody, inject their blood, and make him a demon, and he is pretty much the main villain of the story. He's the main guy of the demons that they have to beat. And if they beat him, Tanjiro might be able to turn his sister back into a human. We don't know the rest of the story. For the most part, he's been having people go after Tanjiro because Tanjiro figured out who he is. So he wants to kill Tanjiro. And a lot of people who Tanjiro has sent, like lower ranks. So he has like a 12 demon group, like how Aizen has his Espada. Well, this anime have their like demon bad guys, and you have the lower ranks and you have the upper ranks, and so far they only fought the lower ranks in an X lower rank, so you get to see like how strong these demons are and how Tanjiro compare against those demons versus the normal demons. And then the last group I want to talk about is the Hashira, who is like the top demon slayers, and the only one you really want to talk about is Giyu Tomioka. He's the one who Tanjiro meets at first, who kind of like believes in Tanjiro and sent Tanjiro on his journey per se, and he's kind of like it's kind of like not Tanjiro's guardian, but like one of Tanjiro's mentors. But he doesn't really, he's like hands off, but kind of looking over him. But the Hashiras are a pretty cool group. You only meet them for like a few episodes at the end of season 1, and I'm really curious to see more of them. They have their ways, but you really want to see what they can do. I'm looking forward to seeing them in season 2. And then last but not least, you got Kagaya Ubu Yashiki, who is the head of Demon Slayers. He's the #1 guy. He's a master. Like number 1, and I think it is #1, right? In Bleach. I can't think of his name right now, but the fire dude in Bleach, or like the main guy, like he's the head of it all, and kind of want to see what more goes along with him as well in season 2. But yes, season 1 of My Hero. Season 1 of Demon Slayer, which does remind me of My Hero Academia. Like I said, Tanjiro reminds me of Deku a lot in the way they act and go through life, but Tanjiro's a little more self-aware, a little more have more confidence in himself. While Deku's like, I'm not sure I can do this. Tanjiro's like, yeah, I can do this. Like, let's go. I've been training for 2 years, and I want to protect my sister. And anytime somebody attack my sister, I'm gonna go off to protect her. That's how Giyu Tomioka, I'm gonna mess his name up, but that's how Giyu pretty much the one who stepped up and believed and fought for Tanjiro, because Tanjiro went out his way to fight him and not just go at him brute force, but also use skill and cunning to attack him in episode 1. This anime is a good anime. It's solid, great season, great pacing, great storyline, it brings out empathy. The music and tone works and perfectly set. Like it's solid. And then the comedy into it. It reminds me of the comedy of One Punch Man with the storytelling of My Hero and One Piece. That's what I compare Demon Slayer to. It's solid. It's solid. If you've seen Demon Slayer, what do you think? Is this an anime you should watch? For one, yes, definitely watch this anime. Watch this season. Put it out there. I think it's one of the strongest introductory seasons of an anime I've ever seen. Like, it is really, really good. So great. I don't have any other thoughts. That's it. And grading time. I'm going to grade Demon Slayer season 1 a solid A. It's really good. I pretty much explained it. The animation's solid. The details of it and the work and the money they put into it. Episode 19, episode 26, and I want to say like episode 12 or 13, like they really put money and time and effort into this, and you can see it. You can see it wasn't just like slapped out throughout. It's like they put time and effort and work and dedication to this anime. It's great. It's freaking great. And the writing of it, the author of Demon Slayer, who once again get his name pulled up, Koyo Haru did a great job. Koyo Haru did a phenomenal job doing this. Like it's written well, and the fact that the anime doesn't have that much filler in it, or pretty much have little to no filler in it, does it justice too. And since the manga is completed, it can literally just follow the manga. Just don't have to fill out anything. It's phenomenal. This anime is phenomenal. It gets an A for me. If you've seen Demon Slayer, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys in the next episode movie breakdown series review, and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode movie breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all, and keep being awesome.